Alright, I'm going to be changing the oil in a 2004 Dodge Ram 1500 3.7 liter V6. First off, I want to say I'm not a mechanic and I don't do this very often, but I do know how to do it. A couple of things that you're going to need. You're going to need a 13 millimeter wrench or socket, oil pan, 5 quarts, 10W30, and an oil filter. Maybe a mat. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bolt off of the oil pan. What that's going to do, it's going to drain all the oil out of the truck. The location of that oil bolt, the bolt for the oil pan, is, get my iPad. Right there. I don't know if you can see that. That's the bolt right there that we want to remove. Oh. Yeah, you can see that. Oh, and this is my first time to make a video, so be gentle in the comments. Alright. So, I'm going to go ahead and start loosening this up. It's on there. Damn it. I'm going the wrong way. No. Holy shit, it's on there. Let me grab a cheetah bar real quick. It's kind of a small socket wrench. Give me a little bit more leverage. Wow. Can't believe it's that tight. Turn it left. There it goes. Okay, once you start loosening this thing up, after you get it to a certain point, it's going to start leaking the oil. So I'll loosen it up a little bit. Go ahead and grab my oil pan, slide it underneath. Oh, shit. Go ahead and take this all the way out. There it goes. Alright, so we'll let that drain for about, I'd say 10 minutes maybe. While that's draining out, we can go ahead and locate the oil filter. Drying my hands off right now. Get all this oil and shit off of it. Alright. Go ahead and locate the oil filter. And that is right here. This piece is the oil filter. And we'll just wait for that to drain out. Most of the time, whenever you remove an oil filter, a bunch of oil is going to come out with it. So unless you have two pans, you want to go ahead and wait on that oil pan to finish pouring out, and then we can move it over to the oil filter and take that off. One of the tools that you're probably going to need for your oil filter, or it makes it very convenient, is one of these. You go to the auto parts store and just tell them you need an oil filter wrench. They'll know what you're talking about. I don't know what this is actually called. Hopefully I'll be able to edit some of this out. If not, sorry. Okay. That's a little faster than I thought. Now that it's just dripping, I'll just throw a rag underneath it. Just for the purposes of this video. Try and get this done as fast as I can. Alright, now we're moving on to the oil filter. Which, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see that. Right here, this white piece. Now, they're not all going to be white, obviously. The one I got is not white. So, take the oil filter wrench and position it on here to where I can crank to the left. Just slides right on like that. And, oops, like this. And once you want to crank, you just want to lift the handle, kind of hold the top of it, lift the handle, and it's going to collapse down onto it. Grab it. And we should be able to turn this. Remember, this thing's going to leak some oil, so have your oil pan ready. There it goes. They put the oil pan bolt in a terrible spot. And this little filter is kind of in a bad spot. Let's see if I can get it by hand. Yep. Alright. Now, I'll go ahead and grab my oil filter. Finish unscrewing it. Right here. Alright, there goes the oil. Lots of oil. There's going to be a lot of oil inside the filter as well. So, go ahead and set this in my pan. It looks like the oil pan is empty. So we'll go ahead and move back over to the oil pan to put the plug back in. Using a big bulky iPad. So now, we'll go ahead and put the plug back in. Clean this up a little bit. Plug is in. I'm not going to put it on as tight as they had it. Whoever changed this last. I'm going to get it snug and then maybe half a turn. So they're snug right there. That's all you got. Probably why they had it on tight, because it seems like right whenever it starts screwing in, so it'll screw in a couple of turns and then it'll just get super tight. Alright. Oil plug is back on. Now we'll move back over to the oil filter. Oh shit. Grab my new oil filter. Most of the time with gaskets, you want to put some oil on them, well, depending on where they're going. If you're changing your power steering hose or something, probably want to use power steering fluid. Oil we'll use, for the oil filter we'll use oil. But you want to grease the gasket that goes around the oil filter. Just with a little bit of oil, just put some on the end of your finger and go around the gasket. It's going to help it seal a little bit better. At least that's what I was told. Now that I've done that, come back over to the oil filter. Now this isn't rocket science, so just put it on there, you screw it in. So we'll get it as taut as I can with my hand, and then we'll use our wrench to maybe go around a half a turn, or just kind of have to feel it. I'd say that's tight enough. So, let's recap real quick. We took the oil plug out, we let the oil drain. After that got finished, I pulled my oil filter out, let that drain for a little bit. Before putting the new oil filter on, I ran a little bit of oil around the gasket to help it seal. Tighten that back up. Now we can go ahead and add the oil into the truck. Pop the hood. Now we need to locate where we put the oil in. Most of everything in here is labeled, so right down through here you'll see engine oil. It says see owner's manual. I checked the owner's manual. It's 10W30. Damn. There we go. Pull this out of here, and this is where we're going to add our oil in. bigger funnel. Alright, so things to keep in mind. You do not want to overfill or underfill. I didn't see a specific quantity of oil in the owner's manual. The lady at the auto parts store said 5 quarts, but I'll probably pour maybe 4 in, wait for a little bit and then check it, and then add if necessary. So where I'm at. So that's about 4 quarts worth. I'll wait for a minute and then I'll go ahead and check it. And my first reading said it was good, but I'm going to double check it because I only put 4 quarts in. So it's saying it's good. The gauge is saying it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is with 4 quarts. Then I'll probably come out a little bit later before I drive it and check it again. Just in case for whatever reason the oil hasn't run all the way down into the pan or whatever other variable it may be. Now we'll go ahead and put the cap back on. Alright, So things to remember, put your oil plug back in before you start putting oil in. Also make sure you replace this cap right here, and make sure you put your new oil filter on. Alright, thanks guys for joining me.